Hi Friendzoneies, thanks for tuning back in to another Keeping It Real with Danie Steele. So, I wanted to talk to you guys about saving our parents and what does that mean? That in particular applies to this notion that from my experience as a black person in the black community, right? So I'm talking particularly about the black African American population. What I'm talking about is how a lot of people feel like they have to, buy their mom a house or buy their mom a car. And it's not this like, it's not a negative thing, to want to buy your parents, to want to give your parents gifts and provide for your parents. But are we in the African American black community putting too much emphasis on the children providing for the parents? And I think that answer, sadly, is yes. I was talking with another friend of mine, and I was telling him how, I felt, I just always felt horrible that, I couldn't give my mother, a better life than she had. I'll just generalize that for now. I won't go into too much detail about it. But, my mother passed away and I grew up in foster care. And I just always felt, like she didn't have the same opportunities that I had. And she had a lot of opportunities that I didn't have too. Like she had definitely more of a family structure than was given to us. But, she didn't have the educational opportunities that I had. And I feel like those are so important. And I always felt badly that she passed away. I mean, to say I felt badly that she passed away before I could give her those things isn't before I could give her a chance at a look at a new life is an understatement. I felt more than badly about it. It ate away at me my whole life. And it's something that I still work on and deal with. And I was talking to a friend and he was saying, he always felt badly that like he didn't buy his mother a house. And then he like remembered like, who was the one that like told me to buy them a house? Like, it was like my mother kept telling me, she would tell me, you should buy me a house. And that's why he felt badly that he never bought his mother a house. But it's like, why do we do that to our children? Like, why do we put this immense responsibility on them to like provide for their parents, especially when in a lot of instances, what are we giving our children? I think it's definitely a lot different with people today, and by today, I mean, like people who had kids like in the late 80s on, from late 80s down, it was like, crack really made a really bad impact on the black community and therefore on people being able to parent. So you had people just giving birth because they didn't care. And even when people aren't on crack or drugs or, just irresponsible, people are giving birth without thinking about how they're going to provide for the child. People are getting pregnant without thinking about how they're going to provide for the child. You got to look at the world today and wonder, is it selfish that I've brought a child into this world that has to compete with children who have two parents providing for them financially, in major ways? If you, or even just one parent, providing for them, and contributing to their growth as a human being, contributing to helping them, in foster care, they call it independent living. I don't know what the fuck they were ever really talking about, because they were just like, and the goal is independent living. Like, they repeated that to us all the time in foster care when we were teenagers. And, they didn't actually do anything to empower us to be able to do that whatsoever with, like, their $300 stipends a year. But, so as a parent, how are you empowering your child, so that they're more empowered than a child in foster care who gets $300 a year? Are you giving them more than $300 a year? Like, and I'm not talking about basic bills and taking care of, though that's obvious. You don't get a pat on the back for taking care of your children. So what are you doing extra so that your children can compete in this world? Like, what are you doing? I think that, we have to be mindful about how we have to be mindful, because Black people have been so disenfranchised. So we can't just, oh, well, like, it can't be that. You have to plan for your children's future. And I'm not saying it means you have to be married, because I don't agree with that, even though, marriage is awesome. All for marriage. Yay, I'm married. But, you can, there's a lot of people who have done better in life with single mothers than people with two parents have done. I mean, it happens all the time. I was raised single mother, and until she passed away, and then I grew up in foster care. So then I meet people all the time who have two parents, and they don't know how to act whatsoever. So it really, really depends on the individual, but we have to consider how I would have really appreciated somebody thinking about my future. That's always great. Like that's always great. And back to feeling responsible for our parents. I know I don't have to feel that way, because like I said, my mother passed away, but my biological father was a deadbeat. He can't ask me for shit. He knows that, because I don't owe him shit, because he never did a damn thing for me. So that'll never happen. There's no contact there. So it's not even an issue. But back to feeling like we owe our parents something. Okay, so I feel like a lot of these people, my biological father, for example, they use the excuse that, oh, I was on drugs. So, some people just tell me, like, people I've talked to about, like, why did you choose to, be abusive to me, throughout my childhood? And people have told me, oh, that's just what happened to me. So that's how they did things with me. So that's how I did things with you, So it's either drugs, or that's how they did it with me, so that's how I'm doing it with you. We got to do better than that. Okay? We got to do better than that. You being on drugs, I don't care how many fucking years, there's no excuse for you being a bad parent. Don't blame the drugs. It's just you. You're just an inadequate, incapable human being, person. You can't really call you a parent if you don't parent. So, but my biological father would often use the excuse of his drugs, and also because I went to a Catholic school on scholarship. Like, I was on scholarship. Make no mistake. I couldn't be up in there acting a fool. I knew from a very early age that I was constantly being judged, pretty much. But my biological father would use the excuse of, oh, well, they're being taken care of. They go to that Catholic school, the white people. And to this day, there are people on, I believe, both sides of the family who feel that way. Oh, well, they got it easy, even though they had family. They had actual family members, right? They got to look at people that love them day in and day out. And we grew up in strangers' homes who didn't give a fuck about us, even though that was the situation in their minds, because we went to a school that was predominantly white. They're good. They're good. Really? So, and you know, unfortunately, people know they can't hit me up, but even on my father's side of the family, there's been family members that have hit up my other siblings when these people have done nothing for us our entire lives. For money. Can you believe it? But you don't hold your family member accountable for raising their children? We got to do better. We got to do better. We were not being taken care of by people in the school. The school felt they were doing enough because they let our black asses in there. So they're done, And then you've got your biological father washing his hands because surely, white people will treat these black kids just amazing, because that historically is what happens. There were a handful of people who were very kind, as there is in life. Elsewise, that's it. There wasn't even a general, understanding of these kids are going to struggle. They are in foster care. Their mother passed away. They clearly don't have this or that. There was no understanding of that. It was perform at the level of every child around you. Perform at that level, or you're out of here. And of course, I performed at that level and excelled. Anybody that knows me knows this, so it is what it is. So yeah, okay. I'm gonna set shit up for my kids. I'm not gonna leave them $1 million. Maybe tops. I would leave them $1 million. If I accrue what I would like to in life. I don't have that now, so don't try that shit on me, on that Kim Kardashian shit. Anyways, I don't have that now, but anyways, I would like to leave my children a legacy, and my children's children, etc., etc. And it's like, how are you gonna get pregnant and give birth and just be like, boop? That's just so fucking selfish. Man, woman, I don't care who fucking does it. Family members that encourage it or are okay with it, it's bullshit. All right, so that's it pretty much. Let's do better for our kids. They deserve it. There's a video that came out today of a young girl. She was in the office with her principal. I forget her name. Gabby, I believe. If it's not Gabby, this whole thing is going to be cut out. But I believe her name is Gabby. Shout out to my girl Gabby, okay? Because you're doing the right thing, And people were like, oh, it's really unfortunate that, her mother wasn't more supportive on that call. But, if you go to her page, it looks like her mother is very supportive of her activism. And that is awesome, And we need to do that. At the very least, empower our children, So let's just keep that stuff in mind. Anyways, check out my kitchen wall. This is... I don't think that I just put this up for you guys, okay? I DK all day. That's what I do, okay? That's how I live. DK, okay? And that's how you need to live. The DK show, okay? So, yeah, awesome. All right. So, yeah, Gabby was talking to her school officials about wearing a sign about Trayvon Martin, and they were like, no, you can't do that. Can't do it, People got feelings about that, And she's like, people are walking around with Trump stickers. Well, you can wear Hillary. Okay, well, Hillary's not black. Can I wear something about a black person? Right. Shut your ass up. So, anyways, she recorded the conversation, and like I said, her mother was like, and I totally understand her mother's position as well. You're a parent, you just want to do what's best for your child, but what's best for young black children is to feel empowered and to feel like they can do the same things that any other kid in this country can do. So we need to empower them with that. And I think, like I said, if you visit her page, her mother definitely is doing that. So I'm happy to see that. And we need more of that. We need more parents supporting their kids, and leaving a legacy for their kids, leaving something for their kids to stand on, not just let me give birth to this kid and, indoctrinate them with the idea that they're going to work hard and be successful so that they can give me shit later on. Come on. All right, that's it. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and hit the notifications bell. I said button last time, and then nobody probably did it because I said button. Maybe you're looking for a little button. It's not a button. It's a bell, okay? On the homepage of the DK show. So check that out. Hit that bell. It'll give you notifications for every video that we do. Trying to do more videos as much as possible, even though I wasn't in the mood, but it's not all about being in the mood. So, okay. All right. All right, pretty. I'm coming. All right. See you guys next time. Bye.